We will discuss why thumb and little finger never be pricked during collection of blood. Okay, fine. Thumb and little finger never be pricked during collection of blood. Okay, now before this, I want to teach you the anatomy of the hand. Okay, now this is the picture of the anatomy of the hand, and here you can see this flexor pollicis longus muscle. This is the flexor pollicis longus muscle, and this is the tendon of this flexor pollicis longus, which goes along with the thumb. Okay, now come to this flexor digitorum profundus muscle. This is the flexor digitorum profundus muscle, and the tendon of the flexor digitorum profundus muscle goes along with the other four fingers. Okay, except thumb. Okay. Now before discussing the topic, or I want to teach you some basic thing. You should know what is fascia and what is sheath. Okay, now fine. Now come to the sheath. You must know what is sheath and what is fascia. Sheath. Okay, now what is the definition of sheath? Sheath means any enveloping structure such as membranous covering of a muscle, tendon, nerve or blood vessel. It means any enveloping structure, membranous structure that covering muscle, tendon, nerve or blood vessel. I will call it sheath. Okay. Now I am drawing a picture. Suppose this is our tendon. This is a red color tendon. Okay. Now around this tendon there is a green color structure. This is a green color membranous structure which covers the red color tendon. Okay, so I can say this is sheath. Okay, as is covers the tendon. Okay, fine. Now come to the fascia. What is fascia? Okay, fascia is a more general term. Okay, fascia is a generic term that applied to sheath or any dissectable masses of connective tissue that are large enough to be visible to the unaided eyes. So, okay. Now here we have seen that this is red color tendon, green color sheath, and there this is blue color connective tissue. Okay. So fascia means tendon plus sheath plus connective tissue, collectively known as fascia. Tendon plus sheath plus connective tissue, collectively known as fascia. So I can say that fascia is more general term, but sheath is more specific term. Okay, fine. Now again come to this picture. This is our flexor pollicis longus muscle. This is our flexor digitorum profundus muscle. Now, this is the. Now come to this picture. Here you can see this is the tendon which I have discussed before. This is tendon, blue color tendon. Okay. Now around this tendon there is green color structure that covers the tendon. So this is sheath. And around this sheath, if connective tissue present, I mark it as a blue color. If blue color connective tissue present, so collectively it is known as the fascia. So you know what is sheath, what is tendon and what is fascia. Now more specifically come to this picture of this hand. Okay, fine. Now this is the picture of the hand, this is the thumb, this is the little finger, and this is the other three fingers. Okay, just concentrate to this picture. And here you can see this is the tendon of the flexor pollicis longus muscle, which I have discussed before. This is the tendon of the flexor pollicis longus muscle, and this is the tendon of the flexor digitorum profundus muscle. Okay, fourth tendon. Now this is the synovial sheath or palmar fascia, whatever you can see. I am marking as a green color. The synovial sheath or palmar fascia of the flexor pollicis longus muscle goes along with this thumb to the wrist and to the forearm. So this synovial sheath or palmar fascia goes to the wrist or to the forearm. Okay, there is no gap present. Okay. Now come to this little finger. Here you also can see that there is also synovial sheath or palmar fascia of the little finger continue continue with those flexor digitorum profundus muscle and continues to the wrist and forearm. Okay. But here this is the most important thing. Here you can see synovial sheath or palmar fascia of the other three fingers, and you can see there is a gap present. The continuation is absent. Okay. There is a gap present in between this synovial sheath. So if any infection that occurs in this thumb, which can easily, thumb or little finger, which can easily spread through this synovial sheath. Okay. Now, if any infection occurred other three fingers during pricking of blood, there is no continuation of the synovial sheath, so there is less chance of infection, or the infection cannot easily goes to the palmar version or ulnar version. Fine. Here the same picture, more clear picture. Here you can see the synovial sheath for flexor pollicis longus, which continue to the radial bursa. Okay, which continues to the radial bursa, and here this is the digital synovial sheath of little finger, which can continues with the ulnar bursa. Okay. And there is a gap present. There is no continuation of the synovial sheath of the other three fingers. This is the same picture. Here you can see the same picture. The synovial sheath of the thumb continue with the radial bursa, and synovial sheath of the digital finger or little finger goes to the palmar bursa, ulnar bursa, and there is a gap present. So I think it is now clear.